Just a few decades ago, Malaysia was plagued by poverty and inequality. Today, it's a thriving economy with a rising middle class. How did they do it? Is Malaysia also going to be a big giant in Southeast Asia after Singapore? Or is this just a rumor that has surfaced in the media and on the internet? Let's explore the remarkable story of Malaysia's transformation from a developing nation to a regional economic powerhouse. If you look at the historical background, Malaysia's colonial history dates back to the late 18th century when Britain first took control of Penang. It became a significant exporter of rubber, tin, and palm oil over the years. These valuable commodities gave Malaysia a solid economic foundation, allowing it to invest in infrastructure and education after gaining independence in 1963. Back then, Malaysia was on par with South Korea in terms of GDP per capita. However, while South Korea soared, Malaysia's growth remained steady, but not exceptional. Part of the reason for this can be traced back to the early economic policies which Malaysia adopted. The country, like many of its neighbors, opted for protectionist policies, focusing on import substitution rather than opening up to global trade. This approach safeguarded jobs in the short term. However, it ultimately slowed Malaysia's industrial growth compared to the more open economies of South Korea and Taiwan, which were quick to embrace global trade and build strong industrial sectors. Despite this slower start, Malaysia wasn't left behind. In the 1970s, the country began attracting foreign investment, particularly in the tech sector, with semiconductor plants opening in Penang. However, Malaysia lacked the targeted investment and research funding that helped other Asian economies surge ahead. By the 1980s, this country made a more deliberate shift toward manufacturing and exports, which became the primary driver of economic growth. Today, Malaysia is far from where it was half a century ago. It has become an export-driven economy with a relatively low-income tax rate, affordable food and transportation, and a subsidized healthcare system. In fact, Malaysia is now ranked as one of the best places to live in Southeast Asia, second only to Singapore. Moreover, its highly open economy has positioned it well to benefit from the recent tech boom, attracting foreign investment at record levels. Furthermore, in 2023, Malaysia saw an unprecedented $69 billion in foreign investment, a 23% increase from the previous year.
A technology so valuable that governments from all around the world are investing billions into its production. This is all part of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's targets of investing $107 billion into the country's semiconductor industry.
Investors are flocking to the country for a few key reasons. First, Malaysia has a well-educated English-speaking workforce, making it an attractive destination for tech firms. Over the past 2 decades, the country's education system has emphasized STEM subjects, producing a large pool of skilled workers. And unlike Singapore, Malaysia offers these workers at a fraction of the cost, making it a more affordable option for businesses. Beyond its skilled workforce, Malaysia also boasts better infrastructure than many neighbors. Its modern highways and industrial parks make it easier and cheaper for companies to set up operations, something that can't be said for countries like Indonesia. Moreover, with its location along one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, Malaysia quickly reaches critical markets in East Asia, South Asia, and the Middle East. Its ports, like Port Klang and the port of Tanjung Pelepas, are world-class transshipment hubs, making Malaysia an ideal logistics hub. Settled between strategic waterways, the South China Sea and the Strait of Malacca, Malaysia's geography has long given it a natural advantage to its people and economy. Hence, these vital shipping lanes have become increasingly important for global trade. As a result, today, this once overlooked nation is witnessing billions of dollars flowing in, breathing new life into its economy. Now, Malaysia, which is a country often eclipsed by its more prosperous neighbor, Singapore, is quietly stepping into the limelight. Moreover, it's the 66th largest country in the world and holds the title of the 5th largest economy in Southeast Asia.
I think it's really important for an exporter to Malaysia to be aware of a couple things. One is the opportunity that lies beyond Malaysia in the greater ASEAN region. Malaysia is one of several countries in the region. It's the second largest economy in that region. And there are a lot of opportunities to develop synergies, even though the markets have their own individual differences.
Apart from this, tech giants like Nvidia, Microsoft, and Google have invested a staggering $8.5 billion in Malaysia's mushrooming tech sector, opening data centers and factories that are transforming the nation's industrial landscape.
Now, a global leading manufacturer of high-end printed circuit boards and integrated circuit substrates, AT&S, plans to commercially operate its 8.5 billion ringgit technology factory at the Kulim High-Tech Park in Kedah in 2024. Chief Operating Officer Ingolf Schroders said that the construction of the facility will start for phase 1 will start on October 30th.
European and Chinese companies, too, are demanding a piece of the action. This surge in foreign investment didn't happen by chance. It is also part of a strategic plan known as the Digital Economy Blueprint, which aims to turn Malaysia into the Silicon Valley of the East.
And in business news, Malaysia's economy has had its strongest quarterly expansion in 18 months. Q2 grew 5.9% on year, outpacing the previous quarter's growth of 4.2%.
Malaysia's government, under Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, has made ambitious moves to propel the country forward. In 2024, they announced plans to raise over $100 billion to boost Malaysia's semiconductor chip industry, a bold step in the nation's quest to become a design and production hub. Well, this newfound confidence comes at a crucial time, especially when global companies seek alternatives to Taiwan, which faces increasing geopolitical risks. Therefore, with its stability and strategic location, Malaysia stands ready to capitalize on this shift.
Malaysian companies look for partners that they can develop long-term relationships with.
We upgraded Malaysia after almost 6 years from an underweight rating. Policy reforms, data-centered investment and infrastructure build-out which is happening made us positive on country, and which was more exciting thing for us that all these signs were in making last year. What surprised us at the pace with which the progress is happening. With 4.2% GDP growth first quarter of this year and earning growth almost tracking a 10 to 11% mark, surprised us on the upside.
Malaysia's proactive measures and favorable investment policies have strategically positioned it well in the global foreign direct investment landscape, according to the United Nations Trade and Development World Investment Report 2024. The report, released on June 20th, highlighted a slew of strategic initiatives marked by Malaysia.
However, Malaysia's rise is challenging. While the country has made impressive strides in recent years, it still has a long way to go to catch up with tech giants like South Korea and Taiwan. Additionally, one of the biggest hurdles Malaysia faces is the so-called middle-income trap, where countries hit a certain level of prosperity but struggle to transition into a high-income economy. Higher wages make Malaysia less competitive in low-cost manufacturing, yet it still needs to develop its high-tech industries to compete with advanced economies. To escape this trap, Malaysia must continue investing in research and development, improving its education system, and strengthening its institutions. These efforts are already underway, but they will require time and dedication to bear fruit. The country must also address its growing public debt and reliance on oil and gas revenues to finance its economy. While these challenges are real, Malaysia has shown in recent years that it is moving in the right direction. Now, Malaysia's future looks promising, but it won't be without its ups and downs. If the country can continue to attract foreign investment, improve its technological capabilities, and overcome the middle-income trap, it could finally emerge as a prosperous, high-tech economy. Hence, time will tell if Malaysia's star will continue to rise, but the world is watching closely as this Southeast Asian nation charts its course toward prosperity. What do you think about Malaysia's economic growth? What are your thoughts about it? Let us know in the comments section. For more such videos and hot topics, stay tuned to our video and don't forget to subscribe.